The book we're reading is Becoming Your Own Banker. You know, we're changing and shifting the narrative. And as a community activist, the book we're reading is Becoming. As a community activist, one thing that I know how to do and do very well is to help people shift their mindset, to influence the narrative in a positive way. And if you've been reading with us for so many years now, you will see personally there's an impact in your own life. So if little words can change you, then you will know that somebody else is going to need this information. And if you're a Black person like me, February is Black History Month ending today. The question is, what impact are you making? Because it's not just a history, it's a legacy. It's not just a history, it's empowerment. It's not just a history we say that our ancestors, the day me and you die, will become ancestors. Do you know that? So if you have been speaking evil of your ancestors, or they told you to pray for them, they are bad people, means that the day you die, you have joined them. After your 120 years, you have joined them and you become one of those bad people. So if you are right now hearing my voice, you're not a bad person. Know that your ancestors are not bad, they're good. You see, I'm a Christian, we say the God of Abraham, the God of Jacob. Those are ancestors now. Where is your own God of your own father? Think about it for a moment. Okay? I see somebody named T.A. Sonny. What is your hand out for? Okay. It took it down. All right, for disclaimer, guys, this is a social club. We're open to the public. We don't represent any organization, any industry. We're here to read and expand our knowledge and use that knowledge to help others. So as you're here, whatever information you shared here, you take responsibility and ownership for it. Please do not mention companies, do not mention specific companies to allow for inclusion. All right. This place is where people are allowed to be themselves, speak up their mind, but avoid calling names so that anybody can be able to function. Otherwise, let's go to the book. Okay. We are reading What Would They Becoming Your Own Banker. That's the book. And we're in page 69. If you have your book, page 69. Okay. I hope everybody have gotten the next book we're going to read. What your CPAs are not telling you. If you have not, try to find information on Group Me, book club Group Me. I'm going to make some people co-hosts. Roscoe, I'm going to make a co-host. Okay. Miss Pat, I'm going to make a co-host. Thank you, all of you that are on camera. Okay. Mindsetters, I'm going to make a co-host. Please help us watch the screen. Some people do not want to, they didn't want to disturb, but sometimes they forget. All right, who want to start reading? Page 69. But I can get a higher rate of return. Who wants to start from there? Becoming Your Own Bank, page 69.
I can read, Dr. Ruth. This is Catherine.
All right, Miss Catherine, take it over. Thank you so much.
So, but I can get a higher rate of return. When first exposed to the rationale of the infinite banking concept, a person will almost always think and often voice the thought, but I can get a higher rate of return by investing in. Unfortunately, that person has not understood the message. We are not addressing the yield of an investment. We are discussing how you finance anything that you buy. It is always better to finance it through your banking system than out of your pocket. To demonstrate this principle, suppose that A invests 100,000 for 1 year and earns 20%. So the gross yield is 20,000, less taxes of 30,000, which is 6,000. So the net yield is 14,000. So suppose B builds cash values of 100,000 in his own infinite banking concept, dividend paying life insurance plan, then borrows it from his system for 8%, and then makes the same investment as A above. The results are like this. The gross yield of the person B is 20,000, less the interest paid to his banking system, which is 8,000. The taxable gain is 12,000, and then less 30% taxes, it will cost him 3,600. So his net yield will be 8,400. But in this case, you must remember who the characters are in the play. B also owns the policy to which interest is paid and earns the 8,000 on a non-taxed basis. So the total results are like this. And this is for person B. Net yield from the investment is 8,400. Net yield from his banking system is 8,000. So his total yield is 16,400. This principle applies to any investment that you might make. So there is no way that a person can get a higher rate of return by ignoring the banking process. There is a delay in time while getting the banking system established, but once this is done, it is a one-time only event. Anytime a person starts up a new business, there is a delay in time before profitability commences.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? I want you to put a mark on that. Anytime someone starts a business, there is a delay in time before profitability commences. We'll notice that in this time of age, people want to start business today and start making money tomorrow. Such business does not exist. When you see such business, it needs to question it a little bit. Like, I'm a licensed financial professional. I'm in financial industry. Look, in my industry, you have to be patient. And if you look at this book, it says it takes 7 years. You have to wait for 7 years for your banking system to commence. I mean, you started it, you allow it to marinate, and you wait for at least 7 years. Another author by name Eric Worre, I was reading his book that said, Become a Pro. He said it takes 7 years, 7 years to become an expert in any field, 7 years. And he broke it down by saying that 7 years is 4 hours of practice, not learning. Say every day 4 hours of practice on the 7 years. Do the math. Every day 4 hours of intense practice, which means excluding your time in a class learning. Every single day you practice for 4 hours for the next 7 years. That's what makes you an expert. So sometimes I wonder the power of 7. Okay? 7 years. You wait for your bank to establish and be ready. Why? If you're using this concept, means that you have to build a cash value that you're going to take the money from. A lot of people think they have a policy of $200,000. And when they have that policy, they wake up tomorrow and take the money. You're not taking money from the 200,000 that you opened or you just bought. It's based on what you build inside the cash value, inside the house, inside the farm. You planted this seed, it's growing. So time, if you're not willing to learn to wait, then that is where a lot of people get into wrong businesses because they are not willing to wait. They want drive-through microwave success. No, it doesn't work that way. Give it time. In this concept we're reading, becoming your own bank, infinite banking concept, even though you go to social media, you see those that will use 2 minutes and say, don't worry, all those infinite banking system is a fallacy. Tell them to come and sit down and read books. How many weeks have we taken to read this book? We're still reading it. So it's not a 2 minutes. If you follow this concept the way it's structured, you definitely enjoy your own banking system. Yes, TH. You raise your hand again. How can I help you? TH Sonny. All right. Go ahead, Miss Catherine.
Okay, so anytime a person starts a new business, there is a delay in time before profitability commences. When a life insurance policy is created, that is the equivalent of starting a business that never existed before, and the same phenomenon is inevitable. It is just like a trust agreement. A trust has a grantor, a trustee, and a beneficiary. The grantor puts property into a trust. The trustee takes possession and title to all the property in the trust. The trustee puts the property to work for the benefit of the grantor. When income is earned, it all goes to the trustee, but the trustee has an obligation to the grantor to carry out the mission of the trust. In such an example, you have never heard one say, look how much money that trustee is making. To the contrary, one says, look how well the trustee is doing for the benefit of the grantor and beneficiary. Otherwise, the grantor would never put property into the trust. The grantor can certainly be a place where the trustee puts property to work. In the case of a life insurance policy, the owner of the policy outranks every other place that an insurance company must put money, the equity in the owner's policy, to work. For proof of this fact, go back and study the equipment financing section of this book. A number of people have had trouble understanding that the interest person B paid to the insurance company went to increase the cash value of his policy. If that is a problem to you, please study the diagram on page 26. The company has to lend money from the pool to any number of places in order to eventually pay the promised death benefit. It matters little where they put the money to work. Loans to any of the sources will increase the cash value. For even further amplification, please study the table below. Get out your highlighter and mark the spaces in the pages given. Page 54 illustrates the insurance company managing all the cash values. Page 59 shows what happens when he finances a truck through the policy through the policy and pays 19,400 interest to his policy. In the first example, he has paid out more than the increase in cash value. That is because the company has still not absorbed all the cost of acquisition of the policy. This usually takes about 12 years. In the next example, the cash value increased more than the interest he paid. In the last example, the cash value increase was so much greater than the interest he paid to his policy. A word of clarification is necessary here. The interest he pays the policy is not really interest of the loan. It is additional premium that is equal to the amount of the interest he is paying to the finance company. Please go back to page 58 and thoroughly understand this fact. Do you want me to continue?
Yeah. So again, he's making reference to you to go back and check. Go back and refresh your brain in case you forget, or for most of you that join us late in reading this book. This is one book that I will encourage you to go have and read, especially those of us that are new into the space of infinite banking. You're opening your policies. That's why it bleeds my heart when I see people have their policy and they cancel it. Please do not cancel your policy. No matter how the heavens is getting loose and the earth, no matter what is said, do not cancel your policy. That is all you have. That is the only asset you have in United States and Canada that belongs to you, especially if you are approved and you have the right to, because life insurance policies are not automatic. You don't just wake up and get it. And if you don't have the casualty of life insurance to some level, that person will eventually suffer at some point. So do not cancel your policies. And most of you already have one. Hey, hooray, thank God. The book is addressing you, how you can leverage it to become your own banker. Instead of you patronizing a commercial bank, that you can do what? Use your own policy as your own bank. But in order for that to happen, the author is recommending for you to allow that policy to stay there, fund it to the best of your capacity for at least 7 years. At least 7 years. But people don't have that patience. That is why he said, if you start a business, it takes time. There is time delay in what? In profitability. But is the same thing apply to starting your own cash value of life insurance? Because that is the only place you can apply the infinite banking concept without tax involvement. You can apply infinite banking concept with your regular stock market and all that, but you are in a tax environment. You want to make that clear. The only infinite banking concept you can apply that is not, one, in the variable market, two, is not tax. There's no tax engagement, is what? Is from cash value of life insurance. No other one. You can do infinite banking with your stock, with any other thing, but there is tax involvement. All right, Ms. Josephine, go ahead. Ask your question.
Good morning. Thank you so much. I'm calling out of Laurel, Maryland.
Okay.
What if somebody max funds their policy? Do they still have to wait for 7 years before they can use the cash value?
Yeah, I will say yes. Why do I say yes? Mass funding your policies is a better way of paying your policy, right? However, the insurance company administrative fees are still high in that very early age. So if there is alternative, I would not recommend for you to mess with your account within that 7 years. Because some companies, they have their what they call wash loan from 6 years. I know now we're going to be asking those questions. Prior to now, most of us don't ask those questions. All they care about is premium they're paying. Okay, if you're the type that is driven by wash loan, then some companies are 6 years, some are 11 years, 10 years after on the 11th year. Okay, so even if you're mass funding, I would not recommend that. But worst comes to worst, you're still better off than someone else's commercial bank. Okay, you're still better off. Let's assume you must fund your account 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Of course, you're better off than using a commercial bank. Because, for example, loan provision, one of the things I encourage each and every one of us is to learn loan provision. And each insurance company are allowed to set up their own loan provisions, and they can change it. They can change it over time. Now, one of the companies I know that I deal with, one of the companies I have up to $5 million policy with, their loan provision, if you take a standard loan, I'm not a massive investor, So if you take a standard loan, the loan provision from day one is 2.75%. You see, you can still do it the next year. It's up to you, Josephine. But if their loan provision is 2.75%, and I take the loan and I pay it back, and they credit me 2%, it means that I'm getting that loan at 0.75% interest rate. You cannot compare it with the bank of 8%, 12%. You cannot. It's a no-brainer. Okay? It's a complete no-brainer. So if you superfund your policy this year and you want to take money out this year, there's no problem. You're still in a better position than a commercial bank. 100%.
Thank you.
But what is happening is that, again, what is driving the middle class? Remember, most of the middle class are just coming new to even understand what they have. So what is driving them is premium instead of the characteristics that these cash value policies have. Okay? If you know the loan provision, they don't ask those questions. I just, like I mentioned about our previous two readings, I came across one insurance company, the loan provision is 8%. I said, does my people actually ask these questions? Because I see a lot of people pushing for that company, to help their client because they're looking at illustration. No, don't be fooled, my people. Don't be fooled. Now we're going to use this account as our own banker. You're going to look at what is the loan provision. Anything that's above 5, I don't think I want to mess with you as a person, because I have to have the lowest loan provision as much as possible, depending on what the situation is. I know some of us do not have a choice. Maybe you've been declined in so many places because now your eyes are open. Especially if you have canceled your policy before and you're coming back to open that policy now, it's based on your new age, it's based on everything that's happening. And you see that other companies refuse. Maybe this work company is the only one that even want to give you a chance. Then asking loan provision on other is no more relevant. What relevant you're trying to get a policy approved. Okay? So, but this is one area that you must learn. All of us, you have to go back, read books, understand the power of loan in your cash value of life insurance. How can you use a loan process, access to money, to change your world, to build organizations, to start businesses that make sense? Those are the conversations that do not happen among us, the middle class, because the emphasis is premium. Oh, do you know I pay 1,000 in this policy a month? Do you know I pay 3,000 a month? But you pay the same 3,000 in your mortgage. You still cannot walk in there and take loan just like that. And you're going to pay the same 3,000 for the next 30 years. My people, use your brain. You have a mortgage of 400,000, 500,000, you're paying 3,000 a month, 4,000 a month, and you're comfortable. And nobody asks you to cancel that mortgage. And you just wake up, somebody decides to give you a policy, let's say 500, 1 million, where you pay 20,000 a year, 10,000 a year. To you, that is a big deal. But take your phone, all of you. I want you, everybody here, 99% here have a mortgage. Okay? Who wants to share their mortgage? Before I answer the name, who wants to share how much they pay a month? Who don't care about public? Who wants to share?
$2,000.
$2,000. Okay. All right. $2,000 a month. Let's do that. $2,000 a month times 12. That is $24,000 a year. Now, ma'am, if I may ask you, how much is the value of, how much did you buy that house?
The value right now is probably 400,000.
No, that is the value right now. But when you,
Yes.
what was it? How much did you buy?
350.
Okay. So that is 350,000. And she pays 24,000 a year. That is aside the down payment. That is aside the down payment. So my sister, if I may ask you, how much did you put in down payment?
50,000.
50,000. Okay. So 350,000 minus 50,000. So she's left with 300,000. That's what is left. And she pays 24,000 a year. 300,000 divided by 24,000. That is 12 years. Let's call it 13 years. Okay.
Yes, they're around. Yes.
Okay. It's 13 years. But most people are going to pay this 24,000 for the next 15, 30 years. Let's say you pay 24,400 times 15 years. That's 360,000. Okay. Let's say you pay it 24,000 times 30 years. That's 720,000. That is double whatever you bought that house. But you're paying that comfortably without thinking. I believe if you go back to the age you bought that mortgage and take the same 2,000 and say, I'm going to put it in my own cash value of life insurance. If you go to apply for the line of credit right now, they'll ask you a bunch of paperwork. At the end of the day, they may or may not approve that loan. But if you have the same year you started your mortgage, you have started a cash value of life insurance, and you say, if I'm going to pay Uncle Sam 2,000, remember the house is not yours. If you default in paying in that house, the owner of the house, which is the bank and insurance company again, will come back and take that house from you. And when they take it from you, your down payment is gone. Your 24,000 you've been paying every year is gone. The house, the so-called house, is gone. But you're comfortably doing that. But open your cash value of life insurance. Pay whatever you needed to pay a year and leave it there at least for the next 7 years. The truth is that the moment that policy is active, that belongs to you. And there are so many characteristics, there are so many functions, living benefits, if you have the right time, if they approve you. You have access to your, whatever you're even paying in there, you have access to it based on how much you have and fund and how much funding you're doing. And if there is any courts or any of those lawsuits in many states, everything you have in your cash value is what is protected from what? Creditors. But if they sue you today, and in that case you lose, guess what? Your house is up for a grab. I wish the middle class understand these things. I wish. So begin to ask the right questions. Make sure you have the right casualty life insurance and allow it some time. It's not, oh, I opened my policy last year. I want to take money. No, sister. Unless, like Ms. Josephine said, you're super funding that policies. If you're just paying target premium or minimum no loss that they give us just to lock us in, you're not getting no money out. Life insurance is not investment. It's a protection that likely to outperform investment over time, not overnight. So if you have the mind of investment, you cannot be in a life insurance environment. And anybody tells you life insurance is an investment, they're lying. It's not true. But can you mimic it? Yes, that's why we are reading the possibility of the things we can do with casualty of life insurance if we understand the features that it comes with. Miss Cecilia.
Thank you, Dr. Ru. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So this is very interesting, Dr. Ru. Now, I've read this book before, But this statement that say a word of clarification is necessary here. The interest he pays the policy is not really interest on the loan. It's additional premium that is equal to the amount of interest he's paying to the insurance company. So I've always wondered the interest, because I had taken money from my life insurance last year. So actually take that money to pay off my house. Now, by the way, my policy has been 11 years old. It's not 2 years. So I took money from there and paid off my house last year. So every year they send me interest of about 2,000, 3,000. So now what they're saying that interest is actually a premium. Isn't that interesting? See, this is where they say, eat your cake and you have it.
That's correct.
Wow.
That's correct.
That's very, very interesting.
And this is 11 years old practice. This Miss Cecilia have had a policy for 11 years. Imagine if she have cancelled it in the first year, in the second year.
And
Now,
the interest is only 2.2%. But my house was 4.5%.
okay,
So I'm gaining double.
that's
And
correct.
still the interest is going back to my premium. So now I'm using the money, instead of paying my house, paying that loan that I took to have it next time. I mean, this is wonderful. Thank you.
Which page, please? Which page are we reading?
What
This
I
is
read was on page 70.
Thank you.
all right. Okay. So if you're young people here, please I beg you, understand these things. Most of us are late, so we don't really have a whole lot of time of accumulation. But if you're a young person or if you're an old person here, your grandma, your grandparents, begin to find a way where you set up these things for yourself and for your kids. For your kids. Now, when you set these things up, you give it time. Give it time to grow. Give it time to go through all the process so you can enjoy it. And now teach your children. It's not enough to set up this account. Also find a way to get your children to begin to learn the characteristics these things have. And move away from this whole thing of premium. You gotta pay something. You gotta pay something. If you want to challenge, go to the person that invited you to this call today. Tell them how much you pay your mortgage. That is what I'm using to compare. Because they said your mortgage is not an investment also, right? That is what they assume. But look at how much you pay your mortgage a month. Put it and say, oh, I want to use it to get a cash value. You see that the value you're going to get in the monetary value is going to be way more than that mortgage. 100%. But we are comfortable. If you see your 20, 25-year-old, 29, and mommy, I want to buy a house. Meanwhile, they don't have a policy. I want to start investing. They don't have the foundation. If something's wrong, what is going to be their backup? What's going to be their backup? Because if they can't pay for the mortgage, they will come back to take it. Yes, you will say, if you can't pay for your policy, you lose the policy. But let me tell you, if you have paid that policy for 15 years and something's wrong, you're not going to lose that policy overnight. No. But if this is a mortgage you have paid for 20 years, you could not pay the next year, guess what? They will come and take it. It's going right back to the owner 20 years after, 25 years after. That will never happen to your policy. In fact, if you have paid your policy for 20, 25 years and situation like that happen, guess what? You can actually go to your policy, take money, and pay off your mortgage just like Miss Cecilia, that nobody takes your mortgage from you just because you cannot continue to make income. Even if you didn't use it for anything else, you can use it to safeguard your hard-earned money of the money you have put in your mortgage. Okay? So think about that. Ms. Falakemi.
Yeah, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
My question is, what page are we on? Yeah,
Oh,
I put it in the chat, but I couldn't get any response. I just joined a few minutes ago.
we're on page 70.
Page
70.
7. Thank
Yes,
you.
you're welcome. Dr. Tega.
Hello, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Yes, I just wanted to attest to the fact that with the cash value life insurance policy, you truly don't lose your policy because you cannot pay. It happened to me. My policy was due for payment in August. I did not remember to pay. I thought I put it on auto pay. So I didn't pay attention until I got a letter that I was timely to open, and they said, your policy is going to lapse by March ending. And I'm like, my policy is going to lapse. I called, I said, it's on auto pay. They said, no, it's not on auto pay, but it's on a pay from, the last payment was from your checking account. Count it. I just made payment this February. From August, September, October, November, December, January, February. 7 months after, my policy did not lapse. And it was a 1-year-old policy. So I am really saying that we did not know this before now. And in comparing to the example you made about the mortgage, you can't pay your mortgage 6 months. You may not still have that mortgage anymore. And I just want to say there's value in what we are getting from the here. Knowledge is power, and then it's transformation when we apply it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay? And guess what? She don't need to do no paperwork. She don't need to consult nobody. All she need to do is a phone call and say, yes, I think my situation is so good right now. God have delivered me. I need to pay my policy. That's why I beg you guys, don't cancel your policy. Your situation is so bad. It's like that the darkness at the end of the tunnel. Do not cancel your policy. But let's assume in this case of Dr. Tega, she did not have the money to even pay in March. And the policy lapses. Guess what? There is a law in United States and Canada that allows you to reinstate your policy within 3 years. Within 3 years. You cannot reinstate your mortgage, oh, my people. Once they foreclose it, they foreclose it. They may give you opportunity for short sale. Okay? They may give you opportunity for short sale. The question is, how many people are ready to take over your mortgage in the mess it is, the condition it is, in short sale? I know I have some real estate people in this house. Tell me if what I'm saying is wrong. Can you reinstate your mortgage after it's foreclosed? Oh, no. But you can reinstate that your policy, that your $1 million policy, 2 million, 3 million, 25,000 policy you have. You can reinstate it. If you do not call, please do not call and ask them to cancel your policy. Please, I beg you. Do not call, do not text. If you do not call, you do not text, you do not email to cancel your policy, and you don't have money to pay, the policy goes into lapse based on what you have paid before. Within 3 years from the moment that policy lapses, you can reinstate your policy. One, it helps you save your date. If there's nothing else, it helps you. It helps you does what? Save your age, date of birth. It helps you reduce for you to be at the original premium that you're paying to service that policy. That is what it does. All right, good. Let's go to page, unless anybody have questions, let's go to page 71.
Dr. Ruth, please, sorry, I want to ask something. Based on what you just said now, thank you very much for this session. So will you just continue your policy like the way Dr. Tega just talked about it after 3 years? Is it the same status?
It's going to be the same status if they approve you. You still have to go through the approval process.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it's not
Okay.
automatic. Okay, you still have to go through approval process to make sure that your health status has not changed.
But the entire policy is zero, like no cash value, nothing. You're starting afresh.
No, you're not starting afresh, but they will make you to pay all the premium you did not pay if they approve you up to that point.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Is that compulsory?
Yes, that is the law.
Yeah.
It's not that it's not that compulsory. If you want to reinstate your policy for any reason, if they approve your reinstatement, they will make you to pay everything you're supposed to pay from the time you stopped to the time you reinstated that policy.
Yes.
Oh, that's beautiful.
At the end of the day, it's your own benefit. You
That's
really
beautiful.
have nothing to lose.
Oh, wow.
But if you dare take up a phone call or email and say, cancel my policy, you lose that privilege. That's what most people don't know.
Okay.
So if you have, let's assume I'm a licensed financial professional and I have a client, the client is really in dear need, they cannot pay. All I encourage them, leave your policy alone. Let it run its course. If a lapse is fine, but let's say God bless you in the next, Dr. Tega is an example. 6 months she recovered all her stuff. And she was able to pay. Thank God it didn't lapse. But had it been a lapse, it's the same thing she did, she's going to do. However, she will apply for reinstatement and pay everything she needed to pay. What does it do is that policy is based on the previous age. And it's based on the previous time premium and all that. But these are the areas that middle class don't understand. They just want to cancel. Sometimes I wonder what goes into people.
Within 3 years.
Within 3 years. Restatement occurs, that's the law. Restatement occurs only within 3 years. If the policy lapses on its own without you initiating it. But if you're the one that call and say, cancel my policy, my village people after me, you have lost that privilege. All right. Is that confidence?
Question. Yeah, confidence.
Okay.
So my question, thank you so much for this information. So my question is, the policy, if you're not able to pay the policy for any reason, maybe your policy is not up to 7 years. I know we use 7 years for illustration. Let's say 3 years policy.
That's what the author said. The author said if you want to use your policy as an infinite, if you want to practice infinite banking, the author is recommending for you to at least have your policy for 7 years. It's not the insurance company telling you that. That is what the author is trying to say.
Okay.
Go ahead, man.
Okay, so anyways, if the policy is less than that 7 years, like 3 years, and something happened and you're not able to continue, is it still gonna happen like the elapse by itself? And do you know how long it stays to elapse?
It depends on the money that is in your
How
policy.
much you have put in?
Depends on the amount of money you have in your policy. And that is what people still don't understand. They say, but why would my policy lapse? Listen, my people, the day that policy becomes active, insurance company is protecting you. Remember, the focus is protection, right? The insurance company is protecting you. That you did not die or you did not fall sick to leverage critical and chronic does not mean they didn't protect you from day one. Okay? So they are taking that money, protecting you. Okay? So whatever is left there you have in your cash value will determine how long that policy will run on autopilot. It's called autopilot. How long can that policy run through before Everything you have in your cash value finished. And what is it finishing? They are using the money in your cash value to pay your premium. That's what they are doing. But if you could not pay for your mortgage, they never thought they can use the money in your equity to pay your mortgage, right? They just come and foreclose it.
Take your house.
Okay? Meanwhile, they say you have an equity, but yet they foreclose your home.
Rena.
Okay? So, yes, ma'am. All right? It depends on the amount of money that is in there. Dr. Antonio Kaga.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Dr. Ruth.
Good morning.
I just want to say that I'm going through that now with one of my clients. So she didn't have money and her stuff ran under autopilot. And then her money in the cash value is out and her policy lapsed. So we are doing reinstatement right now. My people, is a lot of paperwork and it's on paper. My client told me, I will not allow my policy to lapse again. This is too much paper. I said, well, that's what it entails. If you told me earlier, we would have done something different to make sure that it doesn't lapse. At least you can be paying something to keep it going. So it's not a place to be, although we have that opportunity to reinstate, but is a lot on you as an agent, is a lot on the clients too. So please make sure you look at your policy, and our client, our agents, make sure you are proactive, because honestly, I wasn't proactive with her policy. Had it been I would have cut that before it lapsed. But unfortunately, when I get the email, it has lapsed. So
That is
it's a lot of
that is someone speaking from the agent perspective. Okay, and also pointed at what mistake she made. Yes. Okay, it's important that if you're an agent on this call, advocate for your client. Okay, advocate, look at those policies. I know sometimes those clients may not listen to you. Okay, they may not, some of them are ashamed to come to you. Okay, but continue to advocate for them because they don't understand. But thank God this one understood and is able to work with you. But reinstating your policy, you're in a better position than canceling it. Just to let you know. Don't cancel your policy because of 2 minutes video, because of stress. Those things will pass away. But your policy, you may not get it when it passes. When the issues you're going through finishes and you are now in your senses to come, you may not be able to get it. That is the truth. Okay? Rose Gold.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ruth. This
You're
is
welcome.
truly impacting. I just wanted to add to this conversation, which is I just want to tell everybody about the autopilot in the policy. Truly, I have a client that has not paid premium for about 2 years, and I was able to explain the concept, so she was super interested in signing back up. So I asked her, do you still know your policy number? So we put her on the phone. Unfortunately, do you know our policy was still very active? Even after 2 years, this is real time. This is a scenario that just happened about 2 weeks ago. So we were able to kind of just pay the premium. The premium she had then, the one I had run for her was about 200 more, higher than what she was initially paying 2 years ago when, she signed up. So these things are very real. When we are talking about this, we have different situations. So as agents, even when we have new clients and they tell us, oh, I have a policy I haven't paid in years, because I was mad, I didn't understand it. Please just call. Don't let us say, because it puts value in what we do. I could have just gone ahead and say, hey, let's just write another policy, right? But I dug deep and I called. Unfortunately, that policy, if we had not called, it has only 4 more months to lapse. So that is quite, and it saves her all the headache of paperwork, because if that policy has lapsed and we want to reinstate, it's going to be a lot of paperwork. But all she had to do was just to pay the premium, and she picked it back up, difference of 200. was saved that 200 and she got her policy back. So thank you so much. This is actually very, very good. And if you have more stories like this, let's come up here and just share. Thank you, Dr. Ruth.
Thank you. Thank you. It's like I have a lot of agents on this call. Thank you so much for coming to read. But it's not for only agents. We want you to share your own personal story, because some middle class think you're sharing another person. What about you? Oh, that is not true. No, it is true, my people. What Rose says is so true. But thank God they caught it. Thank God she's there for that client. But I want to hear your own story. How is this impact? Because this is telling you. The book we're telling is you. What are you going to do with you? And you, not another person. Okay? Amarachi. Amarachi.
Yes, good morning, Dr. Ruth. Good
Good
morning,
morning.
everyone on the call. I want to ask a quick question. The autopilot, if one has a financial crisis, can you just call the company and say, "Oh, I have a financial crisis. I can't continue paying my premium. Put it on a hold for now," or do you just leave it alone to run and elapse? What do you do?
So if you have a cash value of life insurance, it's okay. I will always ask everybody if you have financial crisis, please reach out to your agent. Everybody have an agent. Everybody. It doesn't matter who your agent is. Reach out to them and see that there are a lot of ways you can manage your policy that it did not lapse while you're in that financial issues. Okay? But remember, no money, no service. Okay? The question, how much do you have there? You can call your agent to have a conversation. They can look at the policy and see how long that policy has been there. What other options you have. That's why if you're the type that have like cash value, are you index universal life? It's called flexible premium. If you have been paying target, can you be able to pay minimum non-lapse until you recover, you go back to target? If you're paying 7 pay, can you pay minimum non-lapse? Whatever it takes. You have options for minimum non-lapse, target premium, 7 pay, other options for you to fund your account. Okay? But do not just go cancel your policy. Do not just zip up your mouth. Say something with your agent. Go to your agent, talk with them. They are working for your own best interest. But where you didn't do anything, Mr. Marachi, if you already have money in your cash value, of course, your policy will automatically, that's why they call it auto pay or autopilot. You don't necessarily have to do anything for your policy will go into autopilot. If you don't pay your policy, depending on the type of policy you have, by the way, depending on type of policy you have, will determines how the autopilot will play. Okay? If you have something like whole life, you have a regular whole life. If you don't pay your policy, you're going to lose it. The auto pay may not last long.
Okay.
If you have a dividend paying whole life, it may last a little bit because of the dividend portion of that. If you have an IUL, VUL, universal life, again, it depends on the money you have in your cash value will determine how long the autopilot will run before it lapses. But to answer your question, Amachi, you can decide to call them and have conversation. But you don't call them, you don't pay, your policy automatically go into autopilot based on the amount of cash value you have. Okay? All
Okay.
right.
Thank you.
Mensa.
Dr. Ruth,
Yes,
this is
ma'am.
Catherine. If I can just step in a little bit, I'm running out. I have to step away. So if you can
Okay,
pick
no
somebody
problem.
else to read. Yes. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
You're welcome. Mensa.
Yes, Dr. Ruth, thank you so much for always having these book clubs. I've learned so much from these. My question is this. Let's say you have a policy and it has a standard loan. It has a standard loan, but you want to get a company that has participating loans so that you can actively do this infinite banking concept. Is it possible to do a 1035 exchange of one, say, IUL with one company to another IUL to be able to get to use those participating loans? That's my question.
Good question. You can use standard loan as your infinite banking concept. It doesn't matter the type of loan. What matters is you, what you want to achieve. So infinite banking concept does not matter the type of loan. Each of the you can apply. Okay? Now, the second part of your question, yes, again, you can 1035 policies. But this is what I said. What does the book say? It said, get as many policies as you can on yourself, on anyone that you have insurable interest on. If you already have a policy and that company only have a standard loan, and you are the type that say, you know what, I got this knowledge very well right now. I also want to have a policy that have participants. Go write a new policy. Leave that one alone. Because when you're 1035 the policy, guess what happens? You're starting afresh. What? The 2 years of contestability. And you're starting afresh the 7-year mark that this author is recommending for your policy to stay. If you already have a policy, let's say Ms. Cecilia, the policy is 11 years. Why would I mess with that? Because it has passed all the years of restriction. All the years of 2 years of contestability is past everything. Shall build, let me call it equity, for 11 years. Why messing with that? Leave it alone. Go get yourself a new policy with a company that have participating variable index loan. There's so many types of loan. Okay? And let that one start. Now you have opportunity with this one to take a standard loan, do whatever you want to do. But this one is running to catch up with you at the 7-8 years. That will what I would recommend. Okay?
Awesome. Thank you very much for
But
that.
infinite banking concept has to do with any type of loan, it does not matter. Okay?
All righty. Thank you very
All
much
right.
for that.
You're welcome. Confidence, is that a new hand or old one?
It's a new hand. Yeah, I didn't finish my question first.
Okay. All right.
So the second question I had was, so he said that after they reinstate instatement, that it depends on if the person does not have any health issue change, like if the health status have not changed. So what if the persons have had something added to the health issue, like
Of
health
course,
problem?
that's why you have to go through approval process. If they don't approve you, then they don't approve you, unfortunately.
Okay, so coming to this, the last question that I have. The other day I called Nationwide because I have.
Don't call company's name. Remember, this is a public place. Go
Oh,
ahead.
okay, sorry. So I called them and they were trying to tell me something that I did not, different thing, like the interest rate. So it was different from what I used to know. Though my SMD, they tried to explain to me.
Okay, so hold on. You're asking, remember, first of all, when you ask question, guys, this is a public place. You're live on YouTube. Don't call company's name, don't call people's name. Just ask that general question, company S, Mr. John, and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
I didn't
go
know we're on
ahead.
YouTube. Okay, so but my question is, well, after I found out what I found out, which I think the person that I called did not give me the correct, or maybe he did not explain it the way I understand it. I misunderstood it. So I was thinking before then of maybe moving my kids from that company to a different company.
Okay.
But we have been there for I think 3 years now. So now that you're saying something about after passing 2 years of something,
Contestability, 2 years of the law. Is called 2 years of contestability. What does that mean? The law, again, the law, guys, you gotta know the law. There's nothing like I thought. The law says within 2 years, insurance companies have the right to do anything with your policy. They can cancel your policy and return your money. They can decide not to pay based on the investigations and all that. But after 2 years, insurance company must pay whatever they promise you they're going to do. So that's what is called 2 years of contestability. So when you're moving stuff around, think about that. What if something happened within that 2 years? And already you have had this policy for 3 years and you want to mess with it. Now, sister, let me cut you up on what you said. The loan, whatever they told you, insurance companies have the right to change the loan provision at any point in time. They have the right.
You mean the interest rate?
Yes, that's the loan provision. They have the right to change it based on the type of loan. When you call them, what type of loan are you talking about? The company A have a different type of loan provision than company B. Maybe when they talk to you with company A, and that is what they shared with you. Now you went to company B, it didn't ask the question of, oh, what is the loan provision for company B? Because as at the time you're putting the application, you didn't even know that this exists, except the little one they even told you.
That's right.
Okay, so now when you know better, you do better by asking the question. Now, all of you on this call, when you're getting a new policy for yourself, for your children, for your loved one, one of the questions you ask, instead of focusing on premium, forget premium, my people.
Yeah, that's
It's
right.
garbage in, garbage out. Whatever you put in is what you get. So anybody tells you this company is better than this one in premium is a fallacy. There's no such thing. There's no such thing as expensive. This one is more expensive. This one is cheap. Anytime an agent comes to you and use the word expensive, cheap, they don't know what they're talking about. They lack knowledge. It does not exist. Okay? So how you fund your policy determines how it performs. So each insurance company have different loan provisions. If I'm not going to tell you this one have this one, I'm going to tell you some have 2.75% in their first 10 years of first 6 years, depending on where the wash loan set in. Somehow, I told you that I just find out there's a company that have standard loan 8%. But people are getting policies because they say, oh, the premium is cheap. Oh, the loss ratio shows I'm gonna make this amount. They get confused. No, don't focus on that. Focus on what can my policy do for me legal. Because every insurance company, please can you mute yourself? Every insurance company must follow the rules. So the problem is not whether they are following the rules, is what is their mastery level. Okay, so my sister, some of them have 3.95%. Again, it depends on the type of loan. If your participating loan have a different percentage, variable loan have a different, index loan have a different, standard loan have a different percentage. So it depends on the type of loan that you're taking.
You're talking about index, right?
I'm talking about there's index loan inside the IUL if you have an IUL. There's variable loan inside the same policy. There is a participating loan inside the same policy. There is standard loan. There are too many types of loan in the same policy you have. I like that because your brain now is like, ooh, there's so much I don't know. Yes.
Yeah.
But remember, this person that helped you get your policy, even at the time he's trying to help you, you see, I don't have time. You're wasting too much time. Even the one she managed to pull you down, you sign, you still don't have knowledge of it. So now you're going to go back to continue to read the books and read your policy. I believe you have not even read the whole booklet. The whole question answer you have is your booklet.
Becoming your own.
How many people here have read their booklet, their policy booklet? You just sign and you kept it. My agent didn't tell me nothing, but the company sent you a booklet, your own personalized, but you never open it. They send you your own. You want to be a banker. How can you be a bank manager? You don't know what is in your bank rules. You're going to start from there now. Bank manager, going to start with knowing what is the rules and regulation of your own bank by reading your policy booklet. Okay? So, Miss Confidence, good questions. Looking at your face and your brain, it shows me, oh, the more I'm talking, I'm coming out of this confusion, the more I'm confused.
Yeah, I do.
Can see the confusion on your face. But that is the essence of knowledge. The knowledge makes you say, wow. So there's so much I don't know. Yes, there's so much you don't know. That policy you have is good. But it can only be good or diamond based on how you know what is in it and how you leverage it. Okay? Go
So,
back
Dr.
to it.
how do you get maybe is that a book where you know the types of what the variable whatever in the
You're
IUL?
going to call your insurance company where you have your own insurance and say, tell me the types of loans that you guys have. And what are the loan provisions? All of you here. All of you that have a cash value of life insurance, you already have it. Assignment for you. On Monday, call your insurance company. Ask them, what are the loan provisions? What are the types of loans you have and the loan provision, the interest rate for each of them? And you can find out when did the wash loan start. Your own particular company. I would like for us to share it when we come back to the next book club. When does your wash loan, zero loan? So I have one of the companies I have policies with, their zero loan start from 11 years, which means if I take example, I use all the example I give is based on standard loan. Okay. If I do standard loan, 11 years from, like Miss Cecilia, 11 years from, they will give me that loan at 2%. If I pay it back, they will credit me 2%. That is what is called wash loan. At the end of the day, you get that policies, you get that loan at zero. Okay. So find out when does the wash loan for that particular company start. Now, let me warn you, you're calling an employee who may not know. Okay. Even the terms you're using, you're calling a front desk. So you probably want to say, I want to speak to a salesperson. Salespeople may have more information than the front desk who is just picking up your phone. But even if a salesperson, they're on the clock to go home. Okay? But get as much as information, the types of loan, the loan provision for each of them, and when does the wash loan sex in. I have another company that I have a policy with. Their wash loan starts after 6 years. Okay? So these are some of the things you have to know. It's not enough to just sign a policy and write it up. Those policies are good if you have one. Don't always be carried away with critical and chronic illness. No, those are just insurance companies selling tools. That to get cash value of life insurance is good. You're starting your own bank. It's pure gold. But you only know it's gold or diamond if you understand the concept, what is inside. Okay, Professor Neck, go ahead, ma.
Yeah, Dr. Ruth, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for this opportunity to learn. I'm referring back to the question we had on that page 70. You remember where we read a word of clarification about the interest that is actually your own premium. And now we are talking about wash loan. And it's giving me another picture that loan is still, that interest is going to the company and not to me, because if it's going to me, what's the point in the wash loan?
Okay, the point in the wash loan is that they give you, Prof, you have a bank. They give you a loan at 2%. They say if you pay back the 2%, we credit you the 2%. So in a sense, you get that loan at 0%.
But if you don't pay it back?
Of course, you have to pay it back. If you don't pay it back, you're not practicing infinite banking concept. Remember, that was the beginning of the book. The author say we saw the story of backdoor, right? The story of
Yes,
a
the
grocery
grocery.
store. Okay, if you don't pay it back, definitely you're gonna shut down your system. You're not gonna have a bank anymore. So anybody that say take a loan, don't pay it back, you're shutting yourself down. You're not practicing the banking concept. So, Prof, yes, here's what is happening. When they give you a loan, they give you the loan based on the amount of money you have in your cash value, right?
Yeah.
So they're using that money as a collateral. If you take a standard loan, they're taking, let's say you take 10,000. They're taking the 10,000 from your cash value inherently, right?
Yes.
And they're putting it in a special type of account. What is in that place is also compounding. Okay? Now, when you pay back the loan, they will credit you back what they gave you. So it's pretty much zero. You didn't get that. It's zero loan. I don't know how to explain it, make it very simple.
Can I add something
I
here, Dr.
just
Ruth?
want to reconfirm. I just want to reconfirm that payment back is payment to me.
Yes, literally it's payment to you, because if you look at the book, it's saying it's additional premium you're paying to yourself. Because you're eating your cake and having it only if you eat your cake and have it only when you pay it back.
Yeah.
Now you're talking about standard loan. Remember, this author is just general. He did not say types of loan, right?
Yeah, I didn't.
But it's not me bringing out there are different types of loan. Now, but if you really, really want to enjoy the power of eat your cake and have it, which is what most real estate, all those investors use, is participating loan or index loan, but their loan provision is a little bit higher though. So if I take a variable loan, for example, okay, that variable loan could be 5% or 6%. I know insurance, the law also make insurance company there's a limit they cannot go. Okay, that's what also makes them different from investment world. So if I take variable loan, for example, is 5%. That variable loan, they don't remove the money as they do in standard loan and put it in a special. No, they leave it there in your cash value. Now, let's say the market performance 8%. And they gave me a loan of 6%. What's the difference? 2%. That's what they call, for most of it that I've read, if you read the book, Retirement Miracle, chapter 9. I want everybody to go read it. Retirement Miracle, chapter 9, if you like to read book. Okay. I think the heading is it really a tax-free? Now, if this person takes this loan is 5%, and the money still remains in the cash value, is still participating in the market, and the market performs at 8%, the insurance company will take their 5%, and you're left with 3%. So you took loan from the same money is participating, you're making more interest. That's what they call positive arbitrage. Most of you have heard the word positive arbitrage. That's what that means. Now, if you take the same variable, of course, the risk level is high, right? You take the same variable loan and the market perform at 4%. You see, you're short, right?
Yeah.
So now, where do you think the other interest is going to come from? Your cash value. So that's what is called negative arbitrage. So people like me, I'm not in really investor per se. I'm not going to mess with variable loan. Okay? Because I don't have that risk class, that risk tolerance level. But most people who really understand this thing, we have this good we have, and they're really business, they mess with variable loans, participating loans. So you're going to start hearing those terms. So, but Prof, no, you're taking loan from yourself. Remember, the goal is not really what you're getting. It's just that the goal is for you to avoid commercial bank, period.
That's right.
No matter what you do, the comparison is you being the banker and instead of going to commercial bank.
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Mrs. Cecilia, go ahead.
So I was trying to see if I can shed a little light on a question Prof asked. If it's a wash loan, if there is a wash loan, what is the essence of it? From what I understand is if your company has a wash loan, say after 10 years, 12 years, you can do a loan as a wash loan. At that point, you don't get bill the interest that you get bill every year. You take the loan, you can pay it back without the yearly interest. But if it has not gone to the level where it's a wash loan, you're gonna get interest in and still pay the loan back. That's what I understand.
Yes, that is true. If you have not reached the wash loan, like for example, I use the companies I operate to it. Okay. So if you have not reached the wash loan, if you do example standard loan with the company I currently have, one of them, where I have reached a certain more than 10 years now, but I've not clocked that clock of wash loan. If I take loan from there, they're gonna give it to me at 2.75%. And that's the company I've seen with the lowest loan provision so far. I'm still trying to find any other company that have built that company in terms of their loan provision and standard loan. That's the lowest I've seen, 2.75. If I pay it back, Prof, they're gonna credit me only 2%. So I'm paying the insurance company 0.75%. But
Yeah.
I'm better off to 8%, 12%, 15%. I'm way, way better off to that. Okay.
Yeah, I think mine may actually be less than that because I've had that my policy, even though it's not a lot of face value, but it's been there since 2007.
Hey, hey, yeah,
And
yeah.
then I took a loan. I took a loan of 10,000. And then after 1 year, they sent me interest. They said I'll have to pay interest of about $230,
Okay.
which by far is less than any interest you can.
You can get
And I
from
think
anybody.
literally it's nothing. So what
Yeah.
I'm thinking is because of the length of time I've had the policy.
Yes, I think you have you are in a wash loan. Then when you pay it back, they credit you. They still want you to pay it. Okay.
Yeah, I did pay it.
Yeah, when you pay it, they credit you back whatever based on the time you take that loan.
And
Okay.
guess what? If you don't pay that interest, they're gonna add it to your loan, and next year we'll find interest on that loan plus the interest you didn't pay. That's the compounding part.
That's right.
Yes. So that's why it's called banking concept. It still operate that way. The good news is that nobody is going to report you to IRS that you didn't pay a loan.
Yeah, I
Or
mean, that
yeah.
was my proof that that's the best place to take a loan from. And I'm now
All right.
regretting about all the interest I'm paying in the car and everything.
Guys, you can see the book is live. You're hearing from Prof now. The book is live, but you have to have it. Okay. Imagine she have that policy as at that time she don't have the knowledge. Now she have the knowledge. It's making sense. But yet there's still many people out there who do not understand what we're talking about here. Rose, is that a new hand or old hand?
That's old and I'm sorry.
Okay. Ade Toro, is that how you say it?
Oh, yeah, Adetoro. Good morning, Dr. Ruth. Thank you
Good morning.
for all you do for us and for our community. I'm seeing a lot of questions in the chat, and
Okay, sorry.
I do not want people to be misled as to the content in that loan area. There's this question that really catch my attention. My second question, can you take out everything you have in your cash value at
All right.
once? So that is a lot of what I'm an agent. a lot of what you hear from your clients. And I would like for you to throw more light into that, please, if you
Okay.
could.
So here, we're here just for us, not for the
Yes.
client. But next time, make sure that client is on this call so they can ask those questions. You can only take out what the insurance company allows you to take out. Before you start even talking about the loan, go and check how much do you have in your cash value? How much do you have in your surrender value? Whatever you have in your when you log into your account, most of you that have an account, they will, depending on the company, they will tell you what is allowed, what you can take out on your loan. Whatever you have there that what you can take out, you can take out. And every insurance company does the same. Okay? So they will tell you available loan. They will write the figure. If you're the type that have IUL, they will tell you available withdrawal. But if you look in IUL, you will never have access to withdrawal until about, I think, 8-9 years. That's what makes it is not an investment, it's a protection. But based on how you fund your policy will determine the loan provision you can take. Okay? So
Yeah.
that's what is happening. So if they ask that question, you say, oh, come, let me show you. Join me on Zoom right quick or meet me face to face. Let's look at your policy and see what you have available. Or look at your statement. Every year they receive 12 statements. In that statement, it tells them what they can take out every year. Okay, whatever loan provision they have. Depending whether they have a whole life, index universal life, or variable life. Okay? So these are some of the policies that you can take a loan. Outside of this, there's no other policy. You can't take a loan from term policy.
Yeah. Thank you very much for that input. I just don't want people to go with a wrong impression that they can take everything.
No, when you log into your account, that's what I can take is different from what Cecilia can take. It's different from what Dr. Tege can take. Depends on your own bank. If you want to take a loan or you're here, how are you funding your policy? Fund it well. You cannot be leaving your money in the bank. I'll be tossing it in the stock and you come back to take a loan where you didn't put money. It's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Right?
Thank you.
Ademra. Ademira. Is that what it is? Can you unmute? Safa. Where are
I
you?
apologize.
Okay. All right. So let's go to we're doing good. Let's go to the next page. Who wants to read? And even distribution of age classes. Who wants to read? Anyone? Page 71.
I don't have the book.
Anybody can read. Anyone that has the book. Nobody wants to read. You're tired?
Let me read.
All right.
Okay,
Joseph.
thank you, Okran.
Okay,
Nice
sir.
a bit.
Joseph, I'm going to read.
Okay, sir.
From which state?
We shouldn't be talking about that here, please.
Yes, yes, sir. Where are you calling in from?
Okay, good. Texas, please.
All right, thank you. Go ahead.
And even distribution of age classes. I start with the proverb quote: "A good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children." Proverb 13:22a. Back in the days of my work as a consulting poster, I used to describe to clients the ultimate design of a forest management plan. For instance, suppose that you are an owner of 4,000 acres of such property and that we plan to grow trees on a 40-year rotation. So we divide the land into 40 compartments of 100 acres each for management purposes. Each year, we plan to harvest one compartment and replant it. Next year, we select another compartment and harvest and replant it, etc. It will take us 40 years to achieve an even distribution of age classes. We have one compartment for each year in rotation. About 25 years into the growth of each one, we plan an improvement cutting, the removal of the less desirable trees. This brings in some income and enables the land to concentrate the growth potential on the better specimens. 5 years later, we do the same on the same compartment. And 5 years later, we do the final improvement cutting on it. Notice that we are gradually removing inferior trees so that the growth is concentrated on the superior ones. Then we let the remaining tree grow to the ultimate age of 40 years. When the cycle of replanting begins, we start with 500 trees per acre. And when the last improvement cutting is done, we are down to about 85 per acre. That becomes the ultimate harvest. So each year, there is a final harvest on one compartment and 3 improvement cuttings on other compartments. A total of 4 sources of income per year, while having only one expense of replanting, other than the general operational expenses, taxes, fire protection for the whole forest, etc. Once we have the whole system completely established, it is a fabulous income producer, but it's going to take 40 years to get it done. Something similar can be done with creating a banking system through life insurance, and it can become vastly more profitable. But it's going to require a thorough knowledge of the concept. It all can work like the following example.
It requires a total what? Understanding of the concept. How can you have a policy and you have no clue how the policy works? And you're depending on someone else to every day tell you how it works. He said, let me go ask this person, let me go ask this person. No. The book said you need to take absolute control of what you have.
Right.
In order to take absolute control, it starts with the knowledge. That's why we're here reading. The goal is for you to take the knowledge and go look at your policy very well. And make sure that, oh, if they're talking about the banking concept, that you're set and set for real. Not something you wake up is not going to do the work. No matter what we say here, it's up to you to go look at what you have. You have to understand the concept. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. I know of a situation where an elderly couple retired from business were introduced to the idea of establishing substantial life insurance plan on their 4 grandchildren, 2 girls and 2 boys. The girls belong to one of their sons, and the boys belong to another son. The grandparents put 2,000 per year of premium into policy on each of their grandchildren, retaining ownership until their death, with ownership going to their sons at that time. The sons are now grandparents and have a total of 8 grandchildren collectively. They have diligently followed the example established by their parents. For example, purchasing life insurance on each newborn in the amount of 2,000 annual premium. Premium are planned for a payment period of 22 years, approximately 1 generation. Of course, the policies are designed according to the guidelines discussed back on page 38. That is, one that emphasizes that cash accumulation, that is ones that emphasizes cash accumulation and de-emphasize death benefit at the outset. So, after 22 years, the base premium can be paid by dividends from the policy itself from that point forward. Surplus dividends buy additional paid-up insurance. The net effect of this is that the policy can be continued with no additional outlay, yet the face amount and cash value continues to grow very significantly over the years. The mutual life insurance company that they are using illustrates that the cash value at the grandchildren's age 22 is to be $110,360. With no further outlay, the illustrated cash value at age 70 is $4,104,825. 852, sorry. If the insured so desires, dividends withdrawal can be used for retirement purposes at this time in the amount of $225,000 per year and can be sustained at that level as long as the insured lives. Suppose he dies at age 85. At that time, he has recovered all the money that was paid into the policy, which is $44,000 plus $3,556,000 in income, and will still deliver $6,375,923 in debt benefit to the next generation. I think that you have to admit that this is impressive. But what you probably don't understand is this. If the insured at age 22 will finance all his automobile purchases during lifetime from the cash value of the policy and play the game, that is, pay back to the policy the car payments that would have gone to a finance company, then the aforementioned cash value will be greater than depicted. And so will the retirement income figures. If he will finance his house purchases when the cash value are adequate to do so and pay back to the policy, closing costs that would have had to be paid to a mortgage company, plus the monthly payment to amortize the mortgage at the rate that they would require, then the figure cited will increase even more. Then the illustration 1. First illustration A, beginning of the cycle. 1. Senior adult generation, age 66 to 88. The second scenario is B, middle-aged adult, age 44 to 66. Children bearing generation, age between 22 and 44. 4. The birth of adult generation, age 0 to 22. As each generation becomes grandparents, they buy life insurance on their grandchildren. The message is passed on to each childbearing generation as they become grandparents. Then you can create the same effect as the even distribution of age classes in the growing of trees example. It is far more profitable and certain as to the result. No forest fire, no plant diseases, no storm, no property taxes. You have created perpetual motion in your family's financial wall. There are a number of significant advantages to this plan. It covers multiple generations, promotes long-range planning. Underwriting problems are minimized. Tax-free build-up of cash value over a long period of time. It outlays a very small, outlay is very small compared with the ultimate yield. Generation paying a premium can most easily afford them. When that benefit occurs, the system becomes self-sustaining, precludes any need for social security. Passive income is assured. Estate planning is greatly simplified. Wealth mentality is transferred to the succeeding generation over a long period of time to produce consistent understanding. They are learning a process, not buying a product. Promotes the understanding of what money and what stewardship is all about. Money won't buy happiness, but poor stewardship of money will steal happiness. Be sure you know the condition of your flocks. Give attention to your heads, for riches do not endure forever. A crown is not secure for all generations.
Wow. Did you all see how this author outlined the benefits of having this banking concept, casualty of life insurance? Okay. Did you see why I talk about living benefit here? Everything here is living benefit to some level. Okay. So guys, if you don't have a casualty of life insurance, go back to whoever that sent you this Zoom link. Ask them to help you set up one. If they can't help you, call me. My number is 469 487 3469. But your best bet is the person that sent you that Zoom link. If you already have one, praise the Lord. And you sit down to study and understand what you have. Because it's only when you understand what you have will determine how you can actually leverage this to change your life and change the life of your community. Okay? Change your life, change the life of what? Your community. Your children. He said they are not just learning about money. It's not just a product, but they're learning something. But you have to be the initiator of that process. Yeah, Professor Nick.
Yeah, Dr. Ruth, thank you again. And I'm just reading that example with the grandparents. So is it possible for the grandparents to have ownership when their parents are there? That's my question, because, there's been a case that I brought to you.
Yes. A grandparent can be, that's when we say right policy. Did you hear the book at the beginning? It's a right policies on you and on every other person that you have insurable interest.
Yeah.
As long as you have insurable interest on that person, yes, you can be the owner of the policy. Okay. They're going to sign some paperwork for you, the parents. Okay. Remember, all you're trying to do is to start a system. It's not really for, they have to be the insured. Because in life insurance, they have to be a living being, right? Yes. But as long as there's insurable interest, yes, you can own the policy.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Yes. So grandparents, all right, you have gotten enough protection over your head. Can you, if you want to give your child a gift, the best way to give them a gift is through having a permanent life insurance for them. Not the one you put them as a rider. I hate to hear people say, oh, all of us are in one policy. I'm here sitting down in my head. And I'm wondering how, what? So you're a rider, eh? Guys, if there is no policy, rider does not make no sense. Do not put your children as riders. You can afford a policy of 25,000, 50,000, 100,000, 200, 400. They are still young. Instead of putting them as a rider. If that policy lapses or the policy is no more there, you lose everything. Your children are not riders. You are not riders. You're human beings. So the same way each of them have social security, the same way each of them should have their own policies. Okay? You're gonna come across those things. Can we put all of us in one? And so what? Who is gonna be paid when who's died? I have one of those policies, but I got it when I didn't know anything. They added one of my child as a rider. And what is that? $10,000. What with 10,000? Now I want to cover him. It's not insurable. So guys, practice these things. It works. All right. Who wants to go to the next one? Let's see if we can finish this before our time is out. Let's see.
Yeah.
Who wants to read? A different look at the monetary value of a college degree.
I can read.
Caroline from Maryland.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
All right. All right. Before you read, Miss Caroline, Jay, how can I help you? You're muted.
Sorry. Yeah, no, today is my first day of joining, but I have a question.
So you've been missing a lot.
My auntie, Dr. Christie, introduced me today. So she sent the link to me.
Christy,
I want to ask though.
from Houston, Texas, or from Dallas?
No, she lives in Chicago.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
I want to ask though, if, like you were talking about children policy, if a child has a policy, let's say 1,000 policy, life insurance.
1,000?
$1 million, sorry. And the parents want to reduce it like 500 or anything less. How does that affect you?
So why would they want to reduce it in the first place? I'm going to tell you there's some level of ignorance that needs to be taken care of.
Yeah, well, they're thinking because it's a child of like 9 years. They want to, they think it's too much with their premium because they have policy with other children too. So will you make their premium to reduce, or will it stay the same, or what would be the effect?
Again, whenever the face amount is low, of course your premium is going to be low. Okay?
Okay.
Whenever the face amount is low, that person, if he's a middle class American, I will encourage you to sit down with them and educate them a little bit further.
Okay.
Because for the fact, let me tell you guys, if the insurance company have approved you or something, keep that policy.
Okay.
Let me say that. If they have approved you on it, they have agreed and put in their contract, please keep that policy. Because tomorrow you may not get it.
As it goes with age.
Tomorrow you may not get it. So if they have approved you 200, 300, 1 million, whatever, and you can afford it, again, affordability, keep it. If you cannot afford the policy, sit down with your agent and find out what is the way out. What is your goal and objective? You have the right to reduce your face amount. But
okay.
you don't want to reduce this and tomorrow you wake up and start wanting it again. Now they have to go through now a new age, now a new analysis. Maybe something will happen to your health. You can't afford it anymore. You can't be approved anymore. This is not, it's not like clothes where you can change stuff anyhow. If you have a policy being approved, thank your God and take it. If you cannot afford it, okay, reduce it to what you can afford, but note that if you need it later, a lot of people are so myopic in dealing with their own policies. They look at it as an expense. No, my people, the only thing that's not an expense is that thing you pay. That's why they don't call it cost. They say a premium. Inside that premium, there's so many things that premium does for you. Out of that, they will take the cost of insurance. Yes. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Francis.
Yeah, Dr. Ruth, I'm an agent. I just realized that when I'm putting in policies for kids, it even brings up godparents. So as a godparent, will you be able to do that for a godchild?
That is correct if you have the legal paperwork. Correct.
Okay.
As long as, again, what is the contention? Insurable interest.
Okay.
As long as there is insurable interest, you can. But
Okay.
remember, there's also what they call what? Investor originated policies. That's the only policy that do not require what? Insurable interest. But how many people can do that? We see trying to help someone get $100,000 policy, let alone to be talking about investor originated life insurance. All right, good question. Good question.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, I guess we're gonna end it there today. Okay,
Wow.
go back and read those pages. Read those pages that we went over. Okay, read those pages and we'll go from there. So we're gonna resume back to our normal schedule. Okay. Our normal schedule is gonna be so we did supposed to be 21. So the next book club is gonna be on the 7th. On the 7th. That's our normal schedule. March 7th. That will take us back to our normal schedule. So March 7th is going to be the next date of our book club. Guys, invite people here. Let's read. This is not for agent, it's for everybody.
Is it March 7th?
March 7th.
Next
Yeah.
week.
Okay. We are trying to get back to our normal schedule. So March 7th is the next book club, which is next week. Okay. That's to get us back to our normal schedule. So that being said, invite people. Come and read. All we do is read. It's open to the public. There's a YouTube. For those that missed today, I'm going to put it in the chat. If you're not on our Group Me book club, ask the person that invited you. Somebody can put it in the chat. I just put the YouTube link of today's book club. Okay? You can share it with your friends. Share. If you're not following me on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, go follow me. You will see my name there. Ruth Ifediar. Okay? Go there and follow me. I share stuff. Every time I try to go live. Okay? I share stuff. Share it. If you can't speak, let the people that know how to do it on your behalf. All you need to do is to share it. It doesn't cost you anything. Okay, follow me on Facebook, TikTok. If you have questions, reach out to me, inbox me. I'll be happy to answer you. My goal is to impact the community positively. I don't need to know you to answer your question. Okay? I don't need to know you to answer any of your questions. Tell me. My number is 469-487-3469. That's my number. Okay? Text me. You will definitely find me. And I'll be able to help you to the best of my possibility. But please, I'm going to leave you with this. Don't cancel your policies. No matter what it is, your policy is the only asset you have in United States and Canada that duly belongs to you, where you have the absolute control. If your grandkids, your children do not have policies, find out, get to the person that give you this Zoom link to help you write them a policy. That is something for everyone. The policy you have at your job is not really yours. When you leave your job, you're going to work there for 30, 40 years. It will dawn on you that that was a contract, okay, that benefits your job more than you. And when you leave, Yes, they tell you have the right to take it. Now you started working at 20 years. You retire at 65, which means 45 years after. Now the policy is no more going to be you're 20 years old. It's not going to be at 65, and you may not be able to afford it. You're out. And you have this assumption that your children are your investment. Gone are the days when that happens. You have to plan your investment, your retirement today. Your children are not your retirement. So if you're going to achieve cost-free, tax-free, and stress-free retirement, you must plan and be interested in learning about finance and how to plan your own wealth. Because let me tell you the truth, Mrs. Cecilia was able to go to a policy, take money to pay off your mortgage. Okay? But you're retiring, you're still paying your mortgage, you're still paying school loan. Your children cannot, most children cannot even pay their house rent, let alone to have extra to take care of you at this time. Most of your children are doctors, engineers, pilot, IT, but you're still working at 65, 68, 70, you're still working. There's an error. It means there are certain things that we did not put in place. What if you can champion now that you're retired, now you're middle age, now you're 20 years old? Can we come together and continue to learn this system we're in? Yes, we can. All right. So take care of yourself, and God bless you. See you guys next Saturday, 7th. Our book club is every other Saturday, but we have altered our calendar. We are coming back to our normal calendar. So 7th is going to be our next book club.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Ruth.
Thank you so much. Thank you, man. I see Miss Grace. Hold on. I see Miss Grace hand up.
Yes, Dr. Ruth, thank you so much for what you're doing. I just want to address some two, questions that were raised about ownership. Yes, we can take ownership even for our older children. The fact is just to go through the process of approval, and you can put paperwork to become the owner, because we know our children are still struggling with this information. So if you can take ownership, they will not be able to have the privilege to play or fidget around with the cash value. Because when they want to go on vacation and they have 20,000, it's easy for them. I'll take 25,000, I'll go on vacation. But if you have ownership, you are the one in control, and you're going to give it back to them when you feel like they're able to handle money. That's what I did. Another question was somebody who wanted to reduce the amount. As Dr. Ruth said, when you're approved, you go on your knees and say, thank God, I've been approved. Do whatever it takes to keep that policy, because the day you want it back, you might not get it. I'm a good example. When I got my policy, I took it. And when I understood it better from my head to my heart, I said I wanted to increase in my policy. But that policy was declined because they said I had thalassemia. Thalassemia, as a medical people, they know what it is. When these people, they underwrite, sometimes I don't know if they're sleeping. Something was missed. I have had thalassemia all my life. But the second time I wanted that policy, they declined. Imagine if that's the time I said I wanted the policy now. I had canceled the policy. Do you think I would have been insured? So please, when you have this thing, hold it as gold. We might not understand it. Our children might don't understand it, but as we read and put it to our heart, what it's going to do to our family, it is huge. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I hope you heard that, right?
Yes.
You heard that very well.
Yes.
Don't mess with
Yes, ma'am.
policies when your policies are approved. Okay, all those people that prophesying for you to go cancel your policy, that's a fake prophecy. Tell them that's what I said. Keep your policy. That is all you owe. Your house in this land, even if you pay your house off and you don't pay the taxes, the government will still come and take it. Just to let you know.
Dr. Ruth, some people cancel their policy because they are angry with their kids. I met a lady here. She's a nurse. She was sick sometime and recovered. So she went and canceled her 4 policies because she felt that the kids wanted her to die so that they can take the policies.
Don't worry, she will suffer the consequences in due season. Now she will not understand that if there's nothing else she have to have, there is that policy. Guys, if you're the owner of the policy, it does not belong to your kids. If you know you're gonna die tomorrow, you can cash out all your money and eat them today. Eh? Eat all of them today before you die tomorrow. Don't just make decisions based on one emotional outburst, please. Just one emotional. You're talking about these kids. You didn't teach them finance. Nobody teach us anything. You're just beginning to learn the system. Oh, my son is an accountant. Oh, yes, that is accountant of the slave master. But now we're learning the system, how it's going to benefit us. So all of us should have mercy on each other. Nobody taught us.
That is true.
Have mercy on yourself. Have mercy on
Yes.
your children. They didn't know better.
They didn't know.
Yes, it's true.
Be
Okay.
forgiving.
Yeah.
Forgive them.
That is
Yeah,
true.
But don't
forgive
make
them.
Thank
decisions
you,
based
ma'am.
on one emotional outburst. Because of that, you went and canceled something that you have had for 10, 15 years.
Oh my
All
God.
policies.
Please,
Ignorant.
please don't do
Ignorant.
that.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
what I
Mr.
said.
Mr.
Your
Ike.
number again. Please,
Mr.
your number
Ike.
again.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Mr. Ike.
Good. Yeah. Good morning, Princess Dr. Ruth. Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Here is the thing. We have a lot of work to do. If you look at what Princess Ruth said in her book club, she said book club, then mindset change. That is the biggest problem we have. We have a lot of work to do. We have to begin to work on changing our mindset. We have our young men and women, they are professionals and they are very good at what they do. But when it comes to this managing your finances, they have no idea. I'm sorry. We have a lot of work to do. And you know what? The more educated we are, the more stubborn we are, the harder it is to change us. So this thing is not a joke. It's a lifelong passion for me now till the day I die. I'm going to all communities. If you have anything anywhere and you want to invite me to come back down there and sit down with our young people, please don't hesitate.
No
Because
young child left behind.
Serious. This is in fact, it's an existential threat to our community. Once we get this right, we will take off like rocket. You see what the Jews have done? We will beat the Jews because the background, we have solid foundation in our African communities. You name it, engineers, doctors, lawyers, accountants, we have all of them. The only thing now lacking is this financial thing. So this is serious. Please, I am so passionate about it. And I'm begging everybody here, let us go back and start working. And it's not going to be easy. Let's not fool ourselves. We have a lot of work to do, but God willing, we are going to be successful. And again, thank you, Princess Ruth. I can't thank you enough. You don't know what you've done to me and my family.
Thank you, ma'am.
I have young adults.
Thank you.
They are professionals. I'm fighting with them. I'm going to win the fight, and we are going to win. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Thank you. So what he said is true. Dr. Ike, thank you so much. What he said is true. We have a work to do. But we're doing the work now. Everybody in your own family. There are 320 or 30 people with us this morning, right? If each and every one of us will start the conversation in our homes. My children are hearing me as we're speaking. Where are your own children? Saturday is not school. Nobody goes to school on Saturday. Okay? Can they sit down and start reading? When inside the plane, my daughter was reading books, financial books. Instead of she had the privilege of watching television in front of her, but she didn't watch that. She was reading books.
That's
Okay,
good.
we have to change now the foundation, because again, if you're going to achieve financial stress-free retirement, cost-free, tax-free, you must engage in financial literacy campaign in your home, among your children, your grandchildren. They will tell you, Mom, you don't know Jack. Daddy, you don't know Jack. Oh, I'm watching this 2 minutes video on WhatsApp. on TikTok. Mommy, this 2 minutes video say that life insurance is a scam. And this 2 minute video say, oh, don't allow them to cheat you. Go cancel your policy. Don't worry, it's a lie. Tell them to come and sit down and read the law. The law will always stand. The law is the only mirror, is the only thing you can use to validate what you have. Okay? All of us here, majority of the people are getting these policies. If you don't teach your children, they say it takes 7 months to squander inheritance. That's what the evidence says. 7 months, it could be less than that. That's average. Okay? So let's keep pushing. Bring them to book clubs. This is open. There's no insurance company here. We're here to read for ourselves and apply. Okay? Bring them here. Let them read. Those your clients, you wrote policy, bring them to come to book club. Tell them, oh, I have a gift for you. We're reading this book. Join us. It's free. Let them come and read. That's why I try to tell people, ask questions just based for yourself, so that it has that inclusion. So other people know it's not a matter of somebody else, it's you, your spirit. Harriet.
Hello, doctor. Thank you so much for all that you are doing for this community. God bless you and bless you and bless you. Yeah. So is there any way you can show the next book, the picture, please?
I don't have it here. I'm speaking to you. I have to wake up 3 a.m. to be on this call, by the way. All right. I'm all the way in Hawaii. So I don't have it here with me, but it's what the CPS aren't telling you. If you go to the group me, you'll find it. If you're not on group me, please, can someone put in the group me link so that those who are not there can join? Oh, okay, Roscoe. Roscoe is booking, hold on, Roscoe.
I have
Right
the
there.
book. Can I? Oh, okay. Somebody's showing you.
Okay, so that's the book we're going to be reading after this one. Is what your CPA isn't telling you.
Thank you so
That's
much.
what we're gonna do. Okay. All right. H-E-N-E. A Young. H-E.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Ruth. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
And thank you for what you do, and thank you, everyone. Yeah, two things touched me. One, I think a sister just talked about somebody that stood up and canceled policies because of the ill treatment from the kids. So I want you to throw a little light. In a case like that, where you feel like somebody wants you out of the way for it, is it not a better thing to make provisions to put that policy into a trust where it's protected, and then you stipulate what you want done? And if it's a child, maybe you take the name out or something so that that policy becomes protected by the trust. And so my greatest yearning at this moment is to know, how do we go about having a trust to protect the policies that we have?
Okay.
That's my first question. Then number two is in regard to the adult children. Can I put the policy for the adult child, be the owner of the policy, and the adult child is the insured? And then maybe later in life, when they do understand the essence of insurance, then I could transfer it to that adult child, which also probably will be in my trust, where I would stipulate at that time, maybe they settle, they're more mature, and they know what life is all about. Those are the two things that touched me this morning. And I would want some enlightenment. Thank you so much.
Good question. There is another cankerworm that we cannot finish today. But in a simplest language, yes. Whether your children like you, they don't like you, trust is not negotiable. Now, all of you that have your life insurance, whether you have life insurance or not, you have to go do your trust. It's not negotiable. Okay? There are so many types of trust. There are so many lawyers out there. It's only a lawyer can do trust, just to let you know. It's only a lawyer that person canceled her policy due to ignorance, yes, she may not have trust, because if she does, she knows that her trust, she have the right to go there and modify and change stuff. But instead of pushing the anger on that side, she demonstrated high level of ignorance, which our prof, if you can go and beg on behalf of the children to get her to go, if she can get those policies back, if it's still 1 month, if it's still 1 month, I think some insurance company can work alongside with you to make sure that they can salvage they can salvage the policy. Yes, but ma'am, the issue of trust you brought out, we are done for today. We're not going to talk about it, but when we come next time, I will mention it in view, but we're not going to teach you what to do, but what we're going to let you know that trust is part of your estate planning. Everybody should start your estate planning. And to do your trust is only lawyer. Hey.
Dr. Ruth, you
Okay.
can also refer her to the previous recorded
YouTube. Yes,
well,
we have talked about, yes, that's correct. We have talked about trust here in so many ways, and we even have some lawyers here who are putting their numbers to reach out to them. So if you go back to our previous videos, you'll see where we talked about trust, but it's something we'll continue to emphasize. Can someone, yeah. Something we'll continue to emphasize so that people have to go. People used to think that trust is for rich folks. No, it's not for rich folks. It's for anyone who have an asset and who is alive. Okay? So go do your trust. When you do your trust, take your trust, go make it beneficiary to your policies. And with that, be able to stipulate what happened to your policy when you're not there. Okay? So that is a good thing, my sister, that you brought up, but we're not going to talk more on it. But if you want to know more, we have had extensive discussion on it. Go to our previous videos. Please pause the YouTube. If we have had an extensive discussion, go back and listen to it. But the one thing I want to leave you with is only lawyers that does trust. But you're not going to take a lawyer who manages the eye. His job is just to manage eye, to come and do trust. Or a lawyer who takes care of immigration. So the same way you have specialties in healthcare, in other fields, the same way you have specialty in law. So make sure you're using the right lawyer to do your trust. Okay? Deborah. Okay. Oh, I think I'm going to end this because I'm seeing
Dr. Ruth, you did not answer the second question.
What was the second question?
The second question was taking policies for adults.
Yes,
and
you
then
can.
you being the owner.
Yes, you can do that.
Okay.
You can do that as long as the insurance company approves it. I am not transferring any policy to my child until I make sure their head is correct. Okay? Until their head is correct, I make sure that they can manage them and then I can transfer. Unless if your head is not correct, of course, it's going to be my trust. And I can cash my money and eat while I'm alive and enjoy myself. So as an insured, they don't have no right to that policy. The only person that have control over the policy is the owner of the policy. Okay? So yes, you can, as long as the insurance company approves it. Okay? Yes, ma'am. There was one other hand I saw up.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So if you're here, I tell people, do not go learn. Read a little bit about trust. Oh, can somebody stop the YouTube, please? Read a little bit about trust before you start engaging in it. There are different types of trust. What do you want to engage in? What do you want to achieve? Read about it, but note Before you pay that money out of your pocket, it's only lawyers that does it. Okay? But the only way you can ask the right questions is when you have the right information. Otherwise, I will see you guys on the 7th. Oh, Rosemary, what is it?
Yeah, please, can some of the lawyers here put their numbers there so at least
So
people
you
can
your
reach to them?
hold
Yeah,
on, that
so
one.
yeah, so we can get it from our own people.
Yes, again, you have to do your own due diligence. That's why I don't make the referrals. That's why you need, if you know your friend, your lawyer friends, all those estate planning lawyers, you need to invite them here. Okay? Let them come here and learn and see what we're doing. And they reach out to people themselves. I don't make no referrals. Do your own due diligence because it comes with money. You're gonna pay. It's not free, there's no free lunch anywhere. All right. Marville.
Good morning, Dr. Ruth. Please, can we have the group me link?
Okay, let me see. Someone is playing the YouTube while I'm speaking. That's why it's echoing. Can someone post the group me? Group me. All right, I posted it. If you're not a group me book club, please. You can join.
You can join.
All right, I will see you guys next week. 7 by God grace.